Hello everybody, Wyatt Andrews Workshop here, and welcome back to episode 20, I think, finally, of Orewell Zoo. We're back, first time since September, I believe, and I have a very exciting thing to show you, and it is not the Desert Dome, because we've seen it already. It is something over there, and we're gonna look at it. I am so rusty, but I'm not alone. I have help, thank God.
Hello.
Hello.
Even and Goron are here.
Yay. Woo.
St. Reginald's reunion.
Reunion. Yes, believe it or not, our relationship has not dissolved since the ending of St. Reginald's Zoo. We still talk. We have a group chat.
I still sent Wyatt pictures of risky Dutch zoos.
I still am perpetually confused how no one has gotten their hand bitten off by a tapir, but that's for later. Actually, we are going to see some tapirs because, as many people know, but some might not, I have been working for the past couple weeks on this.
So good.
This is the Amazon adventure brought to you by SC Johnson, which is an American corporation that makes things. I think they just make have basic household appliances, but they have actually participated in conservation efforts, particularly in South America. So I felt like it would be, because I love to add corporate sponsors to exhibits because it makes them feel more real. And I felt this one was particularly well suited for that. So yeah, that's what's been here. The Amazon Adventure is a project that I've had a conception of for probably somewhere close to 3 years now. Like the species list, the name, the sponsor, the layout, everything. But I haven't had the chance to execute it until this year because I took a class at my university that was involving virtual environments and stuff. And for our final for that class, we had a chance to create our own virtual environment, which could be a zoo exhibit. So I leapt at the chance and decided, all right, we're going to do it. Let's commit. Let's build the damn thing. And in 2 weeks, this is what I have to show for it.
Ridiculous.
2 weeks.
I haven't even seen the inside yet, but I already know it's just absolutely insane that you did this in such a short amount of time.
Actually, right away, in terms of references, this exterior is based on the California Science Center in Los Angeles, because I saw it last summer and I thought it was a pretty building and I wanted to copy it for something, but I wasn't sure what. But it was just sort of in the back of my mind. Particularly this weird copper cylindrical shade structure thing. Yeah, it looks really cool. And yeah, I'm struggling where to even begin with this. We can start here.
Yeah.
So this is meant to be a Mesoamerican feathered serpent, but I used the Southeast Asian dragon pieces for it.
I love it. I love the blue and the yellow. It works so freaking well.
Yeah. No, it looks rusty and old and cool.
And something I had to bust out that I never thought I would have to is all of the pieces from the South America set, these cool grass sculptures.
I love them. I use them a lot.
Really?
Yeah, I remember in Tamashadi in the Congo line, I also
yeah.
used them a bunch for theming.
Yeah, I definitely sleep on them just because we've gotten so much since then. But I think they have a lot of utility for theming, especially for tropical areas.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. The outside, in terms of the sort of plant palette, is decidedly not Amazonian, but we'll definitely be getting more of that as we go inside. We have this really cool ramp staircase hybrid that I've made. And you'll see over here, you would be able to get in here, but this is the exit only because the whole trail is just a single loop. So you just go in and you have to come out this way.
Nice.
And then underneath this, we have all of these little signs that you can read before you go in or as you come out, either way.
Love it.
But yeah, and then I really like this green wall, how that came out with the periwinkles.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just such... this building just feels so real.
Yeah.
It's kind of giving like public high school in
Yeah.
terms of architecture. It's got a unique shape, but the materials and like I just feel like the materials and even the theming to an extent are just very like municipal.
Yeah.
And I
didn't want to say it, but there's this like this Twitter thread thing where it's like, what's the story on your high school? And there's always a picture of the high school, and it reminds me of that.
I will put a picture of what you're talking about because I know exactly I know that exact image. And as I was building it, I was just like, damn, this looks like a high school. This looks like the middle school I went to.
Well, to me, it reminds me a lot of the zoo of Osnabrück, which has the same kind of brick style throughout. So I was thinking of the zoo.
Cool. Oh, no! Shut up. Spoilers. But I'm going to press play because we get to an exhibit right away.
Wow. Why?
That is an entrance.
God damn it.
So this is the first exhibit in the flooded forests like biome area. The as you could have guessed from some of the screenshots I was posting on.
Fish. Sorry.
Yeah. As you could have guessed from some of the screenshots I was posting on Bronation, the Amazon adventure is split into several different biome sections. And this like huge glass greenhouse comprises the flooded forest. And to sort of get that across, I have a lot of trees that are like in the water. But then I also colored the floor a sort of a bluish color with the faux rocks, just so it looks even more like you get the sort of divide between the terrestrial and the aquatic.
I love it.
Thank you. And then I made these signs by myself using the green screen with the Ansel.
Perfection.
I feel like I see these a lot at aquariums.
They always keep it rather simple. And
Yeah, you don't really get any like facts about them, just like the name and the picture, and they're usually very small.
And like using in-game pictures of the animals in-game. This is what you have to do. This is amazing.
Yeah. I love this Arapaima so much. It's so beautiful.
It's so good. It's gorgeous. I'm impressed at the fact that you even did like signage, and I even saw like a little interactive educational thing that I think you're walking over right now.
Yep.
It's ridiculous. How did you get the time for this?
How did you do this in 2 weeks?
I think like part of like the key to my speed is like I just keep references in front of me with my laptop like all the time while I build. So like I feel like I'm always copying something to an extent. And my brain just sort of goes into like printer mode, and it's like with things that I can't see in the reference, I sort of fill in the gaps based on like what it like might look like. But yeah. And then something I want to mention with this, I used the taxidermy mod to make like the sort of display of like smaller creatures. This one is moving because I forgot to turn off the animation.
Whoops.
But something I wanted to mention is that the taxidermy mod is in its sort of testing phases, and it will come out eventually. But me and a few other creators are beta testing it, so please stop asking. Please stop asking for a copy because you'll get it eventually. I hate that I have to like say this, but yeah, it needs to be said because it's starting to like get in the way of the process of completing it. So yeah, I use it very prominently throughout the build, as you'll see. But like, I know it's exciting. You'll get it eventually. Please be patient. That's all.
Also, just for like the person who's working on this, Inaki is doing a whole bunch of stuff at the moment. All of it is going to be really cool for everyone. But don't forget that this is a hobby. This isn't anyone's job. Like, don't rush anyone, please.
Yes, and also support the modders on Ko-fi.
Exactly.
Give them money because they deserve it.
Quick, Goron, say something positive as well.
I want it. No.
No.
God damn it, Goron.
But yeah, a little display about deforestation, which we'll definitely get even further into as we make our way down the trail. We've got these very fun more signs from the South America pack up here.
Definitely.
And then,
look to the right though, because I just saw a sign that I haven't seen in this video yet.
Yeah.
No, not that one.
Which one?
The one you made, you dingus.
This one?
Oh, that's where we're going next, is it?
Yeah, we're getting there.
Oh,
Be
sorry.
patient.
Have you paid any
yeah,
attention to his screenshot score? Come on.
I didn't notice that the other thing was exit only.
But yeah, this is actually the first time I've used these, even though they've been here since the beginning. But I just wanted, I don't know, I think they work really well for this area, which is rare.
I also, I really love the overhead structure that is used to dampen noises from probably loads of people who are going to be here every day. So that's really, really
Absolutely,
cool.
Yeah, this is a very wide roof.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sort of a little discovery I made was these banner posts. They just have such a beautiful metal texture.
Yeah, I know.
And let me see if I can get in here without going underwater. Yeah.
No way.
Oh
my god.
Oh, and they have like little like sockets that you can like put
on the
like,
flat side. Yeah.
and the flat side. Oh, it all looks so good. The texture too. And then I'm using the not to just give away the entire circus, but I'm using the screen mount ceilings for these sprinklers.
Super nice.
Yeah. But yeah, let's see what else we have to show in here. So yeah, that's exit only. That's where you can either like come through here or you can go outside, just depending on like where you want to finish your adventure. But I say we begin properly.
Let's head on.
Let's head on in to the Headwaters. So this is the first biome that we see in the Amazon. This is where the river starts, particularly in a lake called Lake Junin in Peru. So yeah, your journey begins here.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
This is amazing. Yeah.
So this Chinche Kucha, I believe is how it's pronounced. That's just the local indigenous name for the lake. We don't actually know for sure if it's like the true origin of the Amazon. It definitely could be, but there's a bunch of like mountain lakes up there that could be like the actual source of it. But it's a very unique ecosystem, as you could probably tell. There are flamingos, Chilean flamingos, to be precise. These are greater flamingos, but I figured they're a placeholder.
Yeah.
And then these are meant to be like just sculptures. And I really love this like diorama.
Oh, I love the fucking flamingos in the background.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And this is an excellent.
A lot of
use
this.
the mod.
What even?
This is an excellent use of the mod. Like this is what you want to use it for. This is incredible.
For sure. For sure.
100%.
And a lot of this was based on. It was a visitor center at Mono Lake, which is a like sort of alkaline salt lake in California. It's like mostly just like a truck, like a rest stop, but they have this sort of like interpretive museum area that like simulates the environment. And I just thought like the materials they were using and like the breakup between like you've got these like mud cliffs and then like fences and then the mud cliffs come back and you've also got these really cool like it's sort of meant to like represent like a harbor or a marina on the lake. So you've got like a lot of these very sort of nautical looking like wood pylons and stuff.
It's so good. You captured the vibe. This is just museum vibe to the max, and it's so well done.
Yeah, I feel like Planet Zoo could also be a very like effective museum simulator, as Carlos has proved.
Yes, but absolutely.
Yeah, moving forward, we have our first like, I guess not the first exhibit, but like a biome-based exhibit. It's a little unfinished, just because I was struggling to get the deep diving to work. But in here we have rainbow trout if they want to.
Oh, okay.
If they want to swim closer to the glass, that would be cool. But yeah, I haven't really had the chance to like put much landscaping or like plants or like extra rock work in here just because it would disrupt the diving. But I think it works for now. I'll get around to it someday.
Yeah, it looks amazing.
Very nice.
But yeah, rainbow trout are not native to South America, particularly the lake. They were introduced, I assume, by the sport fishing industry, and they are an invasive species, and they have almost completely, like, devastated the ecosystem, like eating all of the native fish and amphibians that live in the lakes, because the lakes are very, like, they're sort of like a micro ecosystem that can
they're an island basically.
Yeah, they're very delicate, very easily disrupted. But over here, we get a chance to see some of the native fauna. So we have Orestius pupfish, which are a very like important food source for the frogs that live in the lake. So when the trout eat all of these, then the frogs are left without food. I didn't really feel like putting like a prop mod in here for the fish, but they're so tiny it didn't really matter to me.
You're using the glass
and then over here we have two different species of frog, but they are within the same genus, which is Telmatobius, and they're like high altitude specialists. So in here we have the Junin giant frog, which the Goliath frog is a stand-in for. They look very similar though.
Love it.
And then the Titicaca water frog, which is from Lake Titicaca. Yeah.
Very familiar with those. I see them all over the place. They're so cool.
Mm-hmm. They're surprisingly common in zoos. I saw them in the Columbus Zoo a couple months ago. I think they're very cute. I don't know how you guys feel about them.
I love them. I love them so much. I love these exhibits though. These are so much. These are better than most exhibits I've seen at real zoos.
You're really good at using the lights, Wyatt. Like in your Australia house, that was like your first time where you went all out, and and with all these exhibits, I feel like you even improved on what was there, and that was already impressive. So incredible work, dude.
Thank you so much. I am so excited to show the Sunderland because that's another like very interior heavy area that I just went insane with the lighting on. I'm so excited for that. But that's quite literally for another episode. But yeah, that was the Headwaters section. I've got more murals over here. I really wanted to like try and replicate the environment as much as I could, not using any pictures.
Yeah. I mean, you did great.
Thank you. But yeah, something I also started using a lot more in this exhibit was like floor lights. I just feel like they're very effective at like spotlighting things and adding like a little pop of color. Yeah. That was the Headwaters. We're gonna move.
I also forward. It's a very small detail, but the dots on the window make it look on the doors. It's such a small little detail, but it makes it look so much better and so much more realistic. I love it.
Thank you. And also shout out to Frontier for these gift shop doors because they are
I haven't used them yet, and I really
they're so good. They look so good.
They're fantastic.
Yeah. And Flexicolor, don't forget.
And Flexicolor, and for the love of God, you can mirror them without any issues. Oh, it's chef's kiss.
Chef's kiss.
Beautiful. So we're going outside now?
Yep. Not for long though. And I did something similar in the Gorilla 360 area last year, but like it's a lot of like temperate plants that are dressed to look tropical. So like this is just a yew tree, but then I put like these very like sort of strangler fig looking vines on it, and I've got these like branches all over the place. And I am like sort of including a few like tropical looking species like the Cecropias and the Brazil nuts. And then these fig trees I found are very useful for that. They also just have a very tropical look. But they aren't, necessarily like jungle plants.
And ferns also help. And
ferns for sure. We'll be seeing a lot of ferns. But and then I also think this log is very pretty with the hostas plants.
I love the addition of the hosta. It's so good.
Oh, they're my favorite They're just my favorite. That's an S tier plant that they put in. I couldn't be happier with those. Yeah. But let's see if our friends want to perform for us today.
Oh, you actually made the birds into birds. Dude, are your font pieces smaller than the ones I'm using or something? How are you kidding?
I mean, these are just the commas. Like, there's a comma, there's a comma.
Oh my god, and the view in the back. That's so amazing.
Oh, with that capybara and the sort of screamers, that's so good.
Oh, that's
look at him go.
Incredible.
He's there he goes.
Oh, and the tapir in the back as well. My god. Everything is coming together.
Oh.
That's incredible, Wyatt. Wow.
Thank you, Mr. Jaguar.
I need to know, how does Jaguar not escape?
We'll find out. But yeah, this is the Jaguar exhibit.
I love it.
So good.
I love it. It's incredible.
This viewing area was based a lot on the Houston Zoo, which has a very good Pantanal exhibit.
Yeah.
And I think I'm almost a little more interested in the Pantanal ecosystem, which made building this kind of like, I'd rather be doing that. But the Pantanal at Houston Zoo is a very, very useful reference. So yeah. And then they have this area that they can spend either rain or cold weather in.
Yeah, I love that.
Which is still public facing.
Super nice.
Yeah. And then something you might notice I'm using a lot is these temple pieces that are flexicolor, but they just have a really fun texture, and I like sprinkling it around, not too much to make the theming like overwhelming, but just like a neat little flourish every once in a while.
Yeah, I love the very slight color differences you've given them as well, because it's like 2 channels, right? Mm-hmm. So that works really well, and it's once again it just all looks so zoo, because this is something I see all over the place.
Mm-hmm. I feel like I've spent my entire like Planet Zoo career trying to like capture and distill like what makes a zoo, like what the zoo vibe is. And I feel like I'm getting really close.
Oh yeah, totally.
Oh yeah.
100%.
But something I really like is the way, so you've got this really cool like log, which would definitely just be a sculpture, but it goes
inside. Yeah.
It goes through the building, which I think is so fun. And then something I really like is that the Headwaters building is just this like hideous like corrugated like box,
which is why it's one way
on the outside. And that's
don't you dare turn around!
Please don't turn around. Yeah, just like I think the part of the zoo vibe is like balancing like the immersion with the opposite.
Yeah.
I think that's a big part of it for sure.
It's where budget comes in, and you can see where they have to put their money, and if you're, it's like Goron says, if you're going one direction, and especially in a trail like this where every new area is an inviting area, there's not going to be that many people who look back, so most people won't notice this. It's
exactly.
It's incredible, Wyatt. Seriously.
Thank you so much. But yeah, over here, more interpretation. I actually inspired by you even for this little like flip board. Yeah, and it would be like, is coexistence possible? And you'd flip it and it would go, yes, and it would explain why. And then over here I have, this was supposed to be a mirror.
Love it.
And it's the apex predator of the Amazon, and it's not a jaguar.
I've seen something similar. What they actually did in the zoo of Wuppertal is they had this, but then there was a door there in front, so you open a door and then you see yourself.
Oh, that's cool. I think it was at the Bronx Zoo that did this originally, and there was like the most dangerous animal in the world, and you would flip it up and it was a mirror. But yeah,
I love that.
Yeah,
I think it's very evocative.
Love it.
And then you could go this way, but you would be missing out on a little bit of extra interpretation. So you come around here, and you get these.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah. And I'll read those in a second, but I also want to show off this donor wall.
Love it.
Yeah. Looks pretty cool. But yeah,
pretty cool.
So As the river trickles east down the mountain slopes, the landscape becomes lusher and the humidity increases. What was once a stream has become a thundering torrent, swallowing everything in its path. And that leads us into the flooded forest.
Wow.
Oh my god.
God damn it.
I love all the variety of like fences and just everything here is so good.
That's one of your.
And then we get a little
strengths.
sneak peek. What was that even?
That's one of your biggest strengths. Like you were able to use so many different materials, and still it all makes sense. And it's something that I'm always very hesitant about. And every time I see you build, I'm like, I should stop worrying, and I should go all
Stop
out.
being such a pussy, Eben.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
I was gonna say you said the quiet part out loud.
Thank you, Boba. I'll keep that in mind.
No, but I think part of why, like, I don't want to like toot my own horn too hard, but I feel like part of why people, I think, like my style is that I'm brave. Because like I feel like a lot of people wouldn't make the poles like this bright paint color. And just like all of like this building and like
it's not realistic if I don't make it moody and depressing.
But I just think like boldness is something that can be very helpful. And you know, if it doesn't look good, you can just go back and change it. But that's what's fun about this game is like how much control you have.
Yeah, exactly.
Totally. What's that colorful stuff on the ground? Is it just leaves?
Yeah, just leaves. Okay. I mixed the ones from the Twilight pack with the ones from the Tropical pack.
Cool.
Yeah. And then you get a little sneak peek into this little capuchin exhibit.
Okay.
Although that's part of the next biome, so it doesn't feature too prominently. So yeah, this is the Igapo, which is just the flooded forest region of the Amazon. And then they all have a little tagline. So this one is, people and animals cling to life in a world submerged. And something you'll see is that this whole like exhibit area, like the whole Amazon adventure, isn't just about like animals in the environment, but like the way people like live and interact with like the environment as well. So yeah. And then we have the giant otter statues.
Dude, Wyatt is poetic.
I like to think I'm a good writer. I would gladly like do this kind of stuff for a real zoo. Although, like, see, I've thought about that. Like, I remember seeing Remnant's partner. Like, she did graphic design for the San Diego Zoo, and I want to be like, whichever like real life zoo. Look at my resume, and it's all Planet Zoo, and I'm worried they wouldn't take me seriously. But yeah, it's still a very fun like artistic exercise regardless. So I think like if I just like do stuff that's a little more applicable to the real world, it could be something I do for work.
Yeah.
Totally.
Hey, one of my first job interviews was with 3D models that I made for Zoo Tycoon 2. So
really?
Yeah. So
that's fun.
If I can do it, you can do it for sure.
That's very encouraging. But yeah. And then over here you get a fun little window into
I love that.
Into the monkeys.
I love these little sneak peeks. Yeah, that's really cool.
They're really climbing around.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then do you guys know what these logs are?
Oh, are these? Is this the feeder?
Yeah, I was gonna say it's.
I love it.
Yeah, they have such a nice texture if you like vary them up a little.
It's also great if you flip them and use them in like a bird exhibit. It can be like bird houses.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, let's jump into the flooded forest.
Dude,
okay. Wait, is that
sign is so good.
Wait, is that
a billboard?
That's a billboard.
Yeah, it's a billboard. Okay. Don't get too excited.
It could have been.
Both of us were like, is it a funky sign? Is it a
It is, however, a billboard that I designed in my drawing program, though.
Yeah.
Love it. Yeah, really.
Thank you.
Awesome.
I'm over
just
here
getting way more excited as it goes on.
Oh, incredible.
Got some froggies over here.
Yeah, see,
so
again, excellent use of the taxidermy mob. It's for stuff like this that makes it really cool.
Mm-hmm.
And just like with the like the exhibit prop mod with like the different animals is great, but like the fact that these can move like completes it.
It makes it so much better.
Mm-hmm.
totally.
And then I've got golden poison frogs in here.
That too.
Yeah. And then we come out here, and something I realized was that the PVC strip cable, or like not the cables, but the curtain is FlexiColor.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, I was a little hesitant to use it before because it was kind of bright, but if you color them black, you get this really nice sort of more neutral.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But let's jump in.
Oh, I love the lilies. So good.
Love it. Oh, well done. Oh, that looks incredible. And what I like the most about this is that the leaves and the lily pads and everything, it stops you from paying too much attention to the fact that there's a whole huge metal construction above your head.
Yeah. It's so like, oh, it's so ugly, but I love it.
It's ugly, but it's amazing.
And they're trying so hard to cover it up.
Yeah, but well, it's not even covering it up. It's like what Eben said. You're being distracted from it by all of the beautiful stuff.
Exactly.
Because you're so immersed in everything that you just don't even notice the stuff anymore.
Mm-hmm.
I love
this is the giant otters. Let me see if I can adjust the lighting.
That wouldn't be a wide episode without this.
Yeah, no. We gotta stay on brand.
I was gonna say the exact same thing.
And then they have this cool little burrow over here, but unfortunately the top of it sticks out of the bottom of the pool.
Yep.
I didn't realize that until it was too late, but I don't hate it.
I don't mind
it's not too distracting.
Yeah, if you hadn't told us, I wouldn't have noticed it. I would have thought it was intentional.
Perfect. But yeah, so in the flooded forest, it goes a lot. We're gonna ignore that crate. It goes a lot into like this specific biome is very much like, okay, how do people live in this environment? Because the flooding is so intense and so regular that people have to build houses that are off the ground. So that's what this is supposed to be. And this is a secondary above ground viewing area for the otters. And then from above it looks like this is just like the surface of the water.
Yeah.
It's very fun.
Very fun.
But yeah, this is how the otters look from above. I really like how this mud wall came out.
Yeah, with the layers. Yeah. It looks like the water would reach up to parts of it in some way.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. I am very proud of like how much storytelling there is in this whole area. I really wanted to emphasize it because that was sort of part of the assignment was like what journey are you taking like the guests or like the visitors on? And I had to look into like a lot of sort of not menageries because that implies the animals are living, but there was this museum in London in like I think it was like the late 18th century that had like all of these different taxidermied animals, and they were arranged in like geographical order. And that was like the first time like any museum had done that, so it was pretty revolutionary. And it was done from like the mountains to the ocean, which is just like what this exhibit does. So that was definitely a very deliberate reference.
Yeah, and it's such an important part of modern education. Well, it's always been a part of education. Is storytelling is the best form of education, and given the fact that people don't like reading science that much anymore, the visual storytelling that you bring with this project is insane. It's like what Goran said with your mud walls. You don't have to put up a sign that explains, hey, the water can go really high. No, I can just look at the mud wall and I can see, at several different instances the water was at a certain level, which is incredible. Exactly. It's a small little detail, but that's one of the things that people are going to remember much more than another sign.
Yeah, it's intuitive storytelling in a way.
Yeah. I would hope to like inspire more people in the Planet Zoo community to do stuff like this, because I think there are a lot of beautiful like individual exhibits that people create and like impressive architecture and stuff, but like I would love to see more stuff that like tells a story.
Yeah.
I'm definitely trying that with Key Park, where every area has its little story. I still need to figure out stories for some of the areas, but
it's a thing of being able to. There's a lot of great exhibits in the community, and there's sometimes there needs to be a bigger focus on like how do you connect it all. That's always been my one thing that I also wanted to see much more is like how do you turn a
bunch of exhibits into a zoo.
Exactly. I was trying to give you time, Wyatt, so that you could do that.
I was actually last week. I was actually at a very small zoo who are kind of in their starting grounds right now. Like they're in the progress of expanding and becoming something more. And their focus is heavily on like, okay, which stories do we want to tell? Which animals fit into that? Like they're taking a super modern approach. It's actually very similar to this. So that was very exciting to hear about.
That's awesome. Yeah, over here, giant otter statue again. And then I actually hid sort of a caiman into this wall.
I never spotted it. Wow.
That's so fun.
Which teases what we're going to see moving forward.
Wow, that's incredible.
And actually, as you take the stairs up...
Yeah, I was wondering why you were looking down.
Yeah, you get a little
I was
peek
like,
into
you can see some water there.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so cool.
You get a little peek into the rest of the flooded forest. We have spectacled caimans in here.
Love it.
Awesome.
Yeah, we'll get to more of that in a second. I'm gonna hop down, and then. Okay.
Down.
Explore mode can't work forever. But yeah, and then also shout out to the Oceania set for these nets.
Yeah.
That you can just use literally anywhere.
I'm so excited to get back into Key Park's aquarium as well.
Yeah, they definitely work for like nautical or like fishing-esque like areas and such.
I also really like Wyatt. This is a perfect view of that. You don't have a very extensive plant palette in this area, but it still manages to look so much like a rainforest. It's incredible the way how you set up everything. It's amazing.
Thank you so much. So yeah, over here we have an exhibit for.
This is the monkey.
Can we see them? They might all be on the ground right now, but I've seen them climb.
There's an animal.
Oh, is it?
So we have
a monkey and a tortoise?
Oh, is it?
There they
Sakis.
go. Yeah, white-faced Sakis.
Oh,
and then on the ground actually we have red-footed tortoises.
Oh, amazing.
Lovely.
If the monkeys wanna, because it looks so cool when they're like right up against the.
This is such a great example of. I know only Eben is gonna get this, but you know in Erik van Vliet's book.
Yeah.
Not to bash Wyatt, but there's this zoo design book that's there's one page about like where are you gonna put your glass? Are you gonna put it where on the ground on the viewer level, or are you gonna put it up where the animals are actually going to be? Because now you've got the glass but the monkeys are always going to be up there, and you have to look for the mesh instead.
Yeah. I sort of did. I put the glass here as like a safety measure, just because people couldn't really reach up here. True. And the monkeys would just like bite your fingers off otherwise.
See, if this was a European zoo.
Unless you're European.
This is a European zoo in which the animals all seem to be much nicer.
Exactly, where you can pet tapirs if you're brave enough.
If you're brave enough. But yeah, even without the monkeys putting on a show, I think this is a very pretty exhibit.
Yeah. No, the climbing frame is so well done.
And I feel like, I don't know if it's just me, but the animals are like using like the naturalistic climbing frames more.
I have that feeling too. I mean, we just saw the Jaguar. That was going great. I didn't mean to cough there as like sarcasm. I really just had to cough. I love how you use the regular climbing logs little thin
these ones
as like liana vines in a way almost.
Yeah,
So cool.
that was a big discovery because I was originally using like the flatter like 1 meter planks, and those look good. Those look like more like fire hoses, but that's not really the vibe that I wanted in here.
Yeah, I know. It looks that would look way more artificial than this.
Yeah,
I agree.
I love it though. It all looks incredible.
This is also a very pretty view to me.
Yeah. Absolutely
So
love
fucking
this.
good. I can't.
This one,
even.
I loved it. Yeah.
Yes.
Of course, I love this one.
So-
like, it has a pun in it, so I love it. But
But isn't it in a while?
yeah, see you later, alligator, or after a while, crocodile. So.
After a while, crocodile.
Is it after? I was said in a while.
It could be. I don't know. I've heard both.
Okay. I guess I'm not stupid then.
Somebody corrected me on Bronation and said, "Isn't it after a while?" And I'm just like, I'm gonna strangle you. I don't have time for this. I've stayed up till 4 a.m. for the last week working on this.
The other ones made
God.
a PowerPoint.
But yeah.
To continue, Wyatt.
Originally, I was gonna use the adult crocodilians, and I was gonna have like their heads lined up, but that was taking up too much space, especially with the Gariel,
Yeah.
which are absolutely huge. So I used the baby ones, and I was able to use their full bodies, and I think it works very well.
Yeah.
It's
I love
super
it.
cute.
Even though adult alligators don't really have these stripes.
I wonder if you could like also put in an albino one to like make one of them more damaged where people would like touch it.
I mean, if I can like click on it.
You don't have to do it now.
It's too late. It's much too late for that. Got him.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't. I meant in like combining an albino one into another one to make it look like it was damaged.
Oh, dude, that's really smart.
You know
I'll do
what you
that
see-
later.
That's what you always see is like there's this one spot that people are always touching and it just gets more and more damage as time goes on.
How
That's really,
how
really
are you
smart.
even breaking stuff and coming up with weird solutions when you don't even have it yet? Like,
He's doing it on the spot. That's how crazy he is.
Yeah.
But yeah.
love it.
So
My
over
brain,
here
everyone.
we get our on-ground view of the caimans,
Yeah,
and
love
then
this.
this fun little wetlands animal pack sign.
Yeah. So you don't really get underwater viewing for these guys, but just
Not really. Like it kind of goes underwater,
Yeah,
but
it doesn't have
if you lie on the floor, you
Yeah.
would have seen them.
It's not necessary.
No,
No.
absolutely not.
it would have been a huge pain to do that. Like in addition to the giant otters.
Yeah, no.
And I also liked how like much lower to the ground this exhibit was, because then you can see it from the like
Yeah.
staircase up there.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
it's cool.
But yeah, and then for some reason like this is like my favorite bit of landscaping in like the entire area.
I thought so. Yeah.
I just think it's very pretty.
Yeah.
Quite like how that mud wall came out. And then over here, this is all backstage.
Wait, there's a little tiny viewing area over there.
What? What do you see?
To the right, there's a tiny window.
Oh yeah, tiny window.
I like it.
Never want to forget the tiny window.
So there's a freaking alligator.
I totally forgot I did that. But yeah, over here, this is all just backstage stuff, accessing the terrariums,
but-
the caiman, and the
But Wyatt,
and the
you
monkeys.
gotta
yeah?
tell me, are these doors made out of font pieces, and are you then using the light bulb as a doorknob? Because I've been wondering.
Well, this is yes to all,
but
this is leaders.
ah, okay.
Yeah, I didn't make this. This was part of.
Okay.
I forget which set this was, but this was one of the leaders' sets.
I've been
Yeah,
wondering
it's
about
like
this for ages.
The
I've seen
Fennec
you-
Fox or
Yeah,
something like
yeah.
that.
I've seen you use this so many times already, and I'm like always like, how did he? How?
Yeah, you're
Didn't
correct
even
about
do it.
you're correct about everything except the fact that I made it.
I love the
Yeah.
snake statue also. It's really cool.
Yep. And then that clues you in to what is over here.
Oh yes, Bronx Zoo, yes.
So this is our yellow anaconda exhibit, although turns out yellow anacondas are not native to the Amazon.
Really?
Yeah, so I guess I think I don't know what the deal is with the like exhibit animals, the like modded ones and the taxidermy mod, but I'll have to put a green anaconda in here.
It's possible.
Yeah, it's
okay.
Yeah, but
It's
it
good to
looks
know.
incredible. And again, this is another instance of where them being animated does so much more. It's why I always loved the exhibit boxes, because it at least did something, and with the taxidermy mod, it's cooler. And I know that Inaki was talking about including something that like would work so the guests would actually look at them the same way they do at billboards and all the other places.
Super cool.
So
that would be cool.
Yeah, so I would like that a lot as well. So that like you can still make these exhibits and people would look at them. Yeah, it's incredible.
Definitely. This is probably in my top 3 favorite exhibits in the area. I just love like how dark the like surrounding room is, and then you just get like blasted with sunlight.
Rightfully so. It's
and then also the water level as well is really cool.
Absolutely.
Yeah, incredible.
And is there anything here to prevent it from getting out, or?
I just assume it wouldn't be able to. Although I could be wrong.
I'm not an anaconda expert.
Me neither. Yeah, I just assume they aren't particularly like agile, so like I feel like the vertical would be too much for them to get over anyway. But like if this branch would be like an escape hazard, then I can just totally get rid of it.
If you're an anaconda expert, let us know.
Yeah, I was gonna say
Anaconda. All my anaconda experts, let me know, and I will fix it. But yeah,
just put coolers.
I feel like also part of my satisfaction with this exhibit is like just the fact that we can finally make like a realistic anaconda exhibit.
Yeah.
Because before the exhibit box was not an anaconda exhibit.
No, exactly.
They are aquatic snakes, and they need a lot of room and a lot of water. So
Yeah.
we can finally do it.
Yeah, this is incredible.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Mid-recording, my Wi-Fi cut out. We're just gonna go on with the show. So yeah, here we are. Anaconda exhibit just passed, and we come out to here.
I love this.
Wow.
Wow, we definitely didn't just see this yesterday.
I forgot.
Okay,
so whatever.
Okay, if you turn around, Wyatt, you were talking about yesterday. So I thought this was inspired by the Houston Zoo?
Houston.
And you said...
No. Yes, I remember too. Yeah, so this is not inspired by the Houston Zoo. Part of it was like the Jaguar like viewing area on the other side, but this I just looked at like actual images from like neighborhoods in this part of the country. So these are all like, I don't want to use the word authentic, but like they're like recreations of existing architecture and not like recreations of existing architecture.
Yeah, that's really cool. I did the same thing when I did the Congo line for Eben as well.
Yeah, I think that's honestly the best way to do it, because there's honestly like even like I didn't even use like Google Maps for this. I just looked up like a specific city on Google Images and just went from there.
Yeah, that's what I did as well. But that's a fun way to do it, because that's what a real zoo would do as well, right? They don't look at other zoos; they look at the actual source material.
It's one of the things that Joe Rohde talks about a lot, is that like people that he says that you should go places, because even if you look at pictures, you're looking at something through the lens of someone else, and he really emphasizes that like it's important to go there. But like this is the closest thing you can do.
Yeah.
For those who don't know, Joe Rohde is an Imagineer who's worked on stuff like the Star Wars Galaxy's Edge at Disneyland and World and Avatar.
Yeah, he was the main driving force behind Animal Kingdom. He's currently working for SpaceX, I believe.
What? I didn't know
he
that.
left Disney a while ago.
He's trying to see space so he can make more Star Wars rides.
Okay, but do continue, Wyatt. You have some cool stuff to show us.
Always. So over here, let me unpause. We saw the little peek into this exhibit. But
we
this
made a
is
little
sort of-
U-turn. I didn't even notice.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
This is sort of the main viewing area for the tufted capuchin.
I love that.
Super
like
nice.
It's like Goran said. I didn't realize that this was the other side of the exhibit. That is really incredible.
I am just gonna. But yeah, this is the first exhibit in the where's the sign? The Campina biome, which is the forest clearing. It is sort of where like a lot of the larger animals in the Amazon can often be found, like tapirs, capybaras, giant anteaters, jaguars. And the tagline is "Giants of the Amazon come out of the shadows."
Love it.
Super cool.
And then we have a little. I like this armadillo statue.
Yes, truly the giant of the Amazon. Tiny armadillo.
You've hidden the armadillo statue in some of your other signs as well, and I really like that reoccurring theme.
Yeah, I put it over by the lobby as well. It's a really good one.
Yeah.
I wish we had a giant armadillo mod if anyone wants to make that, but because those are found in the Amazon.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, tufted capuchin are also found in the Campina. They are actually much more disposed to dwelling in open areas than other monkeys. And this sign over here goes into how they, in these sort of open, drier parts, they will find and forage for nuts off of trees, and using either stones or heavy branches will crack them open.
Nice. It's really cool.
Yeah.
I also love how you
So
made
they're
these custom signs with the shapes again. It's brilliant.
Yeah. Really, really fun. So yeah, these guys are natural nutcrackers, and this one, is he gonna? Oh, thank God! Sometimes they almost get onto the roof, but
Right. Yeah, I've
not
seen that
quite.
happen.
It does kind of look like they're hanging off of it though, which is cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, let's take a little closer look inside here. I do kind of like how sort of comparatively not lush this exhibit is. It's very heavy on rock work and concrete and just sort of these bare branches, but I think it's a neat sort of departure from the exhibits that are inside of the greenhouse.
Yeah.
Really cool.
Yeah, I mean, it works super well, and it's just very believable.
Alright, thank you guys. Let's move on to this structure.
Yes.
There we go. So yeah, this is the Manaus Jaguar Research Station. Manaus, I don't know if it's a city or territory in Brazil. It might be a city, but it's one of the most developed areas that is actually within the Amazon basin. So yeah, it's really cool. It's an actual I wouldn't call it fully urban, but it's definitely again one of the more developed parts in that region. And in this hypothetical scenario, they've opened a public Jaguar research station where people can see how sort of the mission of conservation is conducted.
Very nice.
Again, the log work here is incredible.
Oh, what the... Yes, cool log, but what the hell?
Oh my
This is
God,
amazing.
Yes.
Oh.
I don't know how much... I feel like I showed a fair amount of this on Bronation, but
But not everything. The TV screens are
Yeah.
so.
These screens are
freaking
totally
amazing.
new, and it's so good.
Yeah, I literally used the
camera,
Habitat web camera, and I just turned on nighttime and the night vision filter, and then just went around the exhibits taking pictures, and it looks
So
just like
good.
trail cam footage.
It's so good.
It's absolutely
Thank you.
fantastic. Yeah.
So I want to give credit in terms of blueprints. This desktop was made by, was it Shift C? Yeah, and then a lot of these the books and the mostly the books were done by Ricey, and then Eben, you might recognize some of these.
What?
I love this.
Yeah.
I love it. I still love the radio so much, and I like that it can be used almost anywhere.
Pretty much, yeah. I've used it a lot in the Sunderland as well, which we'll see in the future. And then these oil drums that we got from the Oceania pack look really good. You can use those just about anywhere.
The minute I saw them when the Oceania pack was announced, I was like, yes, we were in need of something like this. Finally.
I've made so many custom oil drums.
But yeah,
I also love the hang mat. What is called in
the hammock?
Thank you.
Yeah.
I love how this creates
story.
Yeah, story, exactly. Love it.
Thank you guys.
Incredible.
Something I really like about this is how I'd say this is a pretty realistic set, but then it's all fenced off with the chain, chain fence, and it sort of snaps you back into no, you're not actually at a research station. You're not really supposed to touch anything.
Yeah.
This is all for show. But yeah, unfortunately, the Jaguars never seem to come over here that much. But even so, it's still a pretty nice view into the other habitat.
Yeah. Does this also have because we can't see them right now, but I'm guessing you can also see the taper and stuff from here.
I tell you what, Goran. Here's what we're gonna do. We're going to come out, and then there is a second viewing opportunity.
Oh my god.
Over here, if we come up the stairs. There they are.
Oh wow.
My god.
Yes.
That's amazing.
So this gives away the show a little bit, because you can sort of see parts
of it.
of the moat. But I feel like that's something the staff wouldn't really try and actively maintain. If you can see it from the ground, it's good enough.
Yeah. The thing is, when you're up here, you're gonna spend so much time searching for animals that the moat filters away. Also because it has the green color everywhere. It's really not that noticeable, to be honest.
Yeah.
I love it, Wyatt. I love it. Love it. Love it.
Let's see if we can spot a jaguar from up here. Yeah, no dice.
Very busy.
I think I guess part of the charm is that you can't always see every animal you want to see from here, but I think that just sort of makes it. There's always something, and that makes you feel like you're in the wild. It's not the sort of it's not guaranteed that you're gonna see a jaguar, but you could, but you're also definitely gonna see other parts of its ecosystem as well, which sort of makes this not that's why the other viewing area exists, is because that's the dedicated viewing area for the jaguars. And then this is sort of you could see a jaguar, but you also could see a bunch of other things.
Yeah, no, this is the type of exhibit I love at zoos, where it's every time you come here you will see something new, and it just gives you a reason to go back to the zoo over and over again. I absolutely love that stuff.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Yeah, it's really awesome. Over here, I would have liked to have done more, but ran out of time. However, I did manage to get this done.
Oh, I love that.
It is a board about the different types of conservation research.
Oh, nice. Yes.
So we have in vivo, which is live animals and plants, and then in situ, which is seeing them in their natural habitats, and then ex situ, which is a captive environment or a research institute. And then you get to in vitro, which is the cryoconserved materials, then embryos and sperm and egg cells.
Nice. I learned something today.
I like this a lot.
Yeah.
I also don't think, Wyatt, that you needed something more here, because there's going to be a lot of people walking around in here. It's okay to leave some empty space for them to just walk around.
Yeah, I get that. But I think sort of the purpose of this information board is to show people that there's different types of ways to conduct conservation, and if let's say going out in the wild and studying the animals isn't appealing to you, then there's other ways to engage with it and help and do your part, which I think is important to know.
Yeah.
Really cool.
Very cool.
Thank you. So we're gonna head back down, because there is still, I'd say we're a little more than halfway at this point.
Wow.
Oh god.
So When the forest floods, areas become highly saturated with water. These pockets of land become unable to sustain large plants, and so clearings in the forest form where animals come to graze, and that's the information about the Campina. However,
Look, Wyatt, I love how
Yeah.
you go. The forest floods, and the first thing you see is a restroom. I love I love the work there. That's incredible.
Someone posted like this exact building on Bro Nation, and I was like, "That's hideous. I need to copy it."
yeah. I wasn't it. Yeah, someone asked like, "Hey, are there examples of jank buildings?" And I think BZ just went wild.
I need to see like his reference folders because I'm sure there's so much stuff. But yeah, if you need to go in the middle of your journey, here it is.
Here,
Go ahead. Really not much to admire with the restroom. However, over here we have a small outdoor aviary for the Orewell bird, which are basically the South American equivalent of weaver birds. Like they literally do the exact same thing. And I meant to put like fake little nests that I was gonna make with the rope coils that are like hanging off this, and I also wanted to make some that were hanging off here, but that was just something I didn't really have time for.
Yeah, but it already looks amazing.
Thank you. And then I made this neat little sign.
Super cool.
Yeah, this is amazing.
What?
And then I actually made this before I made the exhibit for the Saki monkeys and the tortoises. So, yeah, I was like, there wasn't an order that I built everything in. I was just sort of like all over the place, just like patching everything up.
But I still like that you have reoccurring elements because that would be realistically what would happen. So.
Yeah, for sure. So yeah, Orewell, and then over here, we've got a drinking fountain, and then I'm using my like sort of zoo-wide vending machine design.
I want to say something about this because this is where you were a real influencer. Because when I went to, I remember that you talked about the Dasani water, and that you didn't like it. So when I went to the US last year, the first thing that I wanted to try was the Dasani water to know if it was real or not. And yeah, you're right.
It's terrible. It's poison.
I was drinking it. I was like, damn, Wyatt was right.
Yeah, it's rough. Would not recommend.
No.
And then over here is just the holding for the birds.
I love the kind.
Goran, you might recognize this gate.
Yeah, love it.
I am in love with this gate. For literally everyone else who doesn't know, Goran made this for St. Reginald. I think it was for the Hyrax exhibit, but I just love the materials. I love how like there's like a backside to it. Yeah, it's just really good. All I did was recolor the beams to fit the other ones.
Yeah,
Love it.
Yeah. Nice. Glad to help.
And then over here, this is sort of our last part of the Campina. We have
Starting
a
to
little
flood.
bit. Yep, we've got a little sort of watering hole. I'd like to thank this capybara for actually using the water.
Wow.
For some reason, none of the other animals do. Like the tapirs and anteaters can swim, but they just never seem to like come in the water. But they do drink out of it, so at least they're over here.
Yeah.
I love how the exhibit goes all the way up to here. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that also explains why you won't see them always from that one point of view. Because they might just be over here.
That was also an incredible
It gives
shot.
It gives the animals. Oh my god, is it raining? That's fine. We'll work with it. It gives the animals sort of a chance to like have privacy, but it's sort of like a false sense of privacy because the people can see them from the research center, but like they can't necessarily see the people. So.
Yeah, and I guess they can also use this as like a separation area by the looks of it.
Yeah, definitely. There's a door there.
Yeah.
Incredible work. Absolutely
Super cool.
incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah. So on this side we have a neat little building. Wanted to get these in somewhere. But yeah, this was my chance to do it. And then you might have noticed we've got the tapir statue right here, and then the capybara statue right here. And then we have our final biome. As the river rolls east toward the Atlantic coast, soil gives way to sand. This forms a sea of dunes overlooking the waters. In between these dunes are forests where the Amazon's diversity persists like never before. This is the Restinga. So life takes on its greatest challenges where land meets the sea. And then up here we have... this is the Japanese macaque statue, but I gave it a spider monkey tail using the egg pieces. Unfortunately... I didn't do anything with it.
No.
I know. I did not have time. But as we walked through, I can tell you what is going to be in here. So the Restinga is kind of the like coastal forest that like meets the Atlantic, where the mouth of the Amazon River is located. So in here, I'm gonna have spider monkeys. I'm gonna have jaguarundi. I'm gonna have agouti, and then I'm gonna have a big like sort of land water exhibit where I'm gonna have sloths in like the land sort of tree part of it, and then in the water below, I'm gonna have manatees, turtles, cow-nose rays.
Wow.
Yeah, it's gonna be awesome.
Big plans.
But
It's gonna be incredible.
unfortunately, I did all of this on like a 2-week sort of time budget. So, you know,
I was like, wait, this is an area he hasn't shown anything of. This is gonna be amazing.
There's nothing. And
So
then,
excited, and then just disappointment.
And if you're looking for more disappointment,
Oh no, the forest is dead.
Oh, I love that.
yeah.
I mean, I don't
So
love
this
that
is
the
the
forest
fallen
is dead.
forest.
Oh, I love this kind.
What was that
I
even?
I don't love that the forest is dead, but I do love this kind of education. It's incredible.
Yeah, the rain is very fitting now, though.
Mm-hmm. And then I also really like the desert dome in the back.
Yeah.
I think that looks pretty cool. But yeah, so this is the fallen forest. This was sort of so when I was. I'll show like the whole area what it looks like when we go above. But I was sort of like defining the boundaries of how big I wanted the Restinga area to be, and I realized we had a huge amount of space left over. And I needed to complete the loop still, so I quickly came up with this idea, and yeah. So I don't think any zoo has actually attempted anything like this, because it's definitely too depressing. But it was it was
even
important.
a skeleton. Oh god.
Yeah, it was important to me that people experienced this because I feel like this is the best way to go about it.
Yeah.
I think Animal Kingdom has it in their Asia water ride, in the river rafting.
That's right.
But even that message has been toned down over the years. And like we visited a zoo recently-ish, Goron, where it was like the silent forest.
Yeah, so that was a campaign by the ESEA.
Yeah, that was that reminds
with
me.
that a lot of zoos have like little displays about that. It's about the Asian songbird crisis. ESEA was trying to raise awareness for that, the fact that a lot of songbirds are disappearing because of the disappearing forest and stuff like that. But yeah, nothing to the extent of this.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
This is
So,
amazing.
in terms of the skeletons, these are by Carlos. And then, shout out to Robustus for making these really cool like tree stumps that are meant to look chewed by beavers, but I also felt they worked really well here.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
Super cool.
And then we sort of get into like what like the reason deforestation occurs, and a lot of it is like agricultural development. So we have a little sugarcane plantation over here. Let's see if I can. I'm just gonna turn the rain off.
Yeah, I don't know anyone else who plays with this thing on shuffle, to be honest.
Yeah, that was not intentional. Although look how good this looks.
Yeah, no, this is always great.
Yeah, I have no idea like how they did the stuff with the like water shading in this game.
Yeah.
I wish there was a weather setting where the puddles would not disappear.
I know. Look how good it looks.
From what I've heard,
what a beautiful
from
game.
what I've heard, it might be possible.
Ooh. But yeah, anyways, so this is not meant to be like a completely like barren environment. I want to add signage talking about how quickly like nature can reclaim a space like this. So you get a lot of like
kind of like
saplings.
a bittersweet ending.
Yeah, you get a lot of saplings, a lot of ferns, and then it just gets even more lush as you go along past the plantation, and then you get into this neat little area, and then this is supposed to be the holding for I think it's the monkeys and the giant otters in the flooded forest building. But you would cross the service road into this little area.
Ooh.
Yeah. So this is what I'm calling the Columns of Conservation Gallery. And it goes into not just how the zoo assists in conservation worldwide, but how like everyday people can as well, like even within their own homes and just the choices they make in terms of consumption. And then over here I have this really cool mural that says, "As long as we all continue to take action, the Amazon will remain." And there's a whole bunch of like little like taglines about like what the different
every animal. That's so cool.
Love it.
Yeah, every single animal that's on exhibit. But then in the middle, I wanted to emphasize that like the people who live in the Amazon are just as much under threat as the animals are in terms of like being displaced. So yeah, the 1.6 million people can keep their home as long as we all continue to take action.
Love it.
Is the arapaima there twice on purpose?
Yeah, I know. I messed that up. I was hoping someone wouldn't notice.
You brought in Goron.
But yeah, and then over here we have like what a sort of young forest looks like in terms of growth.
Yeah.
So like you still see like the damage, but like it's all been grown over.
Yeah, I guess rainforest trees just in general tend to grow really quickly, right? Because they want to beat the other trees to the top.
Exactly. So like if we leave the deforested spaces to like grow and redevelop, then like it all comes back very quickly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This also could be.
So then
this also could be like the area, if the zoo uses this area smartly, like they could use this place to grow trees and then replant them when they need the bigger tree somewhere else, and like continue.
Oh, definitely, yeah.
Yeah, or just keep trimming stuff
Yeah.
so you have food for the
that
animals
too.
and stuff like that.
For sure. So from here we have two options. We can either go back inside here or like properly complete the loop, and we end up back here. That's the Amazon adventure.
Wow.
Holy cow.
Absolutely incredible, Wyatt. Absolutely
Thank
incredible.
you guys.
Everything about this is ridiculous.
Yeah.
So I don't know if I mentioned this on Bro Nation, but I want you guys to guess how long like this took me to complete.
I think we've mentioned it
Yeah.
in the video already, but...
Yeah.
Did
yeah,
we?
I think we already mentioned that it took you 2
I mean, we
weeks.
know it's 2 weeks, but...
Yeah. So I did this over the course of 2 weeks, and I checked Steam, and it said in those 2 weeks, it took me 121 hours. I think that I had never needed a spring break more than I did when I completed this.
Wait, so that's like... Basically, you were just working on this full-time job style.
Basically, yeah.
Wow.
Did you have any other classes beside this one?
2 other ones.
You failed those
Did you
two?
fail those?
Oh, wow.
Look,
Oh,
Mom, I
yeah.
got an A for this class. I failed the other ones, but...
Thankfully, I did not fail any of them.
Nice. Yeah, I really love this, Wyatt. And I also...
Yeah.
What I also really like is that you still took things like staff roads into consideration. Like, all of this is a school project, and it was focused so much on, like, the visual storytelling and the visual space and the virtual space, but you didn't skip out on, like, staff roads and exit signs and stuff like fire extinguishers, and I really like that. It's a kind of commitment that a lot of people skip on, and I really like that you kept that as a consistent thing throughout the entire build.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
I'm still caught up on the Jaguar thing. I want to see more of the moat and stuff.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So
the way it works is like at the person level, it's like it's level with the eye line, but then behind like all of this like plant cover, it just goes down and down and down.
Right. Because
by the time to when the Jaguars are down here, it's too tall for them to get up.
Because they can climb, you know. But there's also a ton of hot wire I see. Yeah. So.
And then also large stones and hot wire on the other side to discourage the herbivores from jumping over.
Yeah. Yeah, you don't really have the most jumpy of herbivores. There's no like gazelles.
It's like there's like gazelles or anything like that.
Yeah, super well done.
Thank you so much.
Look at those pace trails in here. Man.
Even in the areas that you wouldn't see, you go all the way. That's incredible, dude.
Thank you so much. Yeah, I did like a little bit, just like the bare minimum of like backstage detail over here. I definitely would like to like sort of once I'm like back in the mood to like come back over here, definitely like come in and dress a couple things up.
Oh,
but
if you need inspiration for one specific cool thing, there's I believe it's a Swedish zoo that has a similar combination of animals, and they have a bell they have all kinds of things, but they also have a bell next to the door because they use all kinds of different sounds. And each sound brings in a different kind of animal. So if they ring the bell, the tapir comes. If they use a rattle, the capybara comes. So like they've
awesome.
They've trained their animals to do that, and they've done a similar thing in the Zoo of Antwerp with birds. And with birds, I get it, but I never thought like, oh, you can actually train like these bigger herbivores to do the exact same thing. It's incredible.
Yeah. I am very curious, like how they like manage these huge multi-species setups in terms of the backstage, because like I have to imagine they aren't all kept like together in like stables.
Yeah, and I think that's the way they do it. They use sounds and
food is a great motivator.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Also, that's really interesting.
Also, Wyatt, this area isn't that big.
No, yeah, I was surprised. I had like pretty much this like whole surrounding space like earmarked for it, but I only ended up filling about a third of it, so I had to go in and like rearrange like how big I wanted the other sections to be.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's all extremely compact.
I mean, that's your strength.
Yeah, I was gonna say the same.
As we've discussed.
I think that's one of your major strengths. And at no given time in this build and in this overview, it felt cramped. And now you look at it and you're like, what the fuck? This is smaller than most exhibits that we built. This is incredible, Wyatt. It's insane.
Thank you guys so much, and thank you for joining me on this Amazon adventure.
You're very welcome.
This was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Glad to be the first to see it.
Yeah.
So, I won't get too much into it just for the sake of time, but I am working in sort of a new version of the Orewell file. I have all of the major structures saved. I just need to place them down. You know, there's Australia, there's the entrance parking lot. But what we will probably get to in the next video is everything that's over here in an area called the Sundaland, which will focus on the animals and plants and people of Southeast Asia. And I've been working on that for over 3 months. So this took 2 weeks. Imagine like what I've been doing for several months, and just like put that idea in your head and
minus
get excited
staring at your screen and
yeah, so get excited. Thanks for joining me, and I will see you in whatever comes first. Have a good one.
Bye.
Bye.